If we ask the question, who had the most drip in history? A few answers come to mind. Ancient Egyptian pharaohs, a handful of West African cultures, Christian friars. I'd like to nominate Japanese firemen from the late Edo period, and let's just jump right into it. First and foremost, just look at the intricacy of those patterns. These dudes wore straight up paintings on their bodies as they jumped into burning buildings with little else to protect them. The most interesting thing is that these designs were worn on the inside rather than the outside. But then why would they go to the trouble of even creating such intricate designs? We'll get to it in a sec, but before we get ahead of ourselves, the outside of the coats were dyed with aizome, a naturally flame retardant indigo dye. On top of that, what they would do is dunk and saturate these things in water. After soaking up all that water, the coats could weigh upwards of 75 pounds. This would protect the men from both the flames and the falling debris. They wore the coats plain side out for two reasons. The first was to protect the intricate designs on the inside, but the second I think is way more interesting. You see, these aren't just any old designs. They depict warrior heroes and water symbolism specifically from various Japanese folktales. Take this one of a young warrior going mano a mano with a flame spirit, or this one depicting the legendary tale of Sato Tadanobu, who was ambushed in the night by enemies. Unable to grab his swords quickly enough, he grabbed the nearest object, a massive go board, and beat the ever-loving out of them. This one depicts rabbits making mochi, and I swear it is related to water and firefighting, but the lore behind it is a bit too dense for this video. This one is one of my personal favorites, partially because it's so visually striking. The story goes that the warrior hero Minamoto no Yorimitsu was sick and visited by a priest in the night, but the priest was not a priest at all, but a tsuchigumo, or giant spider. Yorimitsu's four attendants, the Shiten no, leapt up from their game of Go to chase the spider, spilling the pieces in the process. But this jacket depicts just the spider and the go board, which leaves the firefighter to step into the role of Yorimitsu, and that's the rub. The exquisite designs were meant to imbue the wearer with otherworldly strength and courage. There's something just intimately empowering knowing that you're going into battle and a powerful spirit quite literally has your back. That's why the designs were worn on the inside. But here's the icing on the cake. After successfully fighting a fire, the firemen would shed their jackets, flip them inside out, and parade about town. They'd literally flash and flex their swaggy-ass jackets, touting their victory while everyone cheered, literally, displaying the same strength and tenacity of the warrior heroes that they wore on their backs. Truthfully, if I lived in Edo times, I'd be lighting my house on fire daily just to catch a glimpse of this unparalleled swagger. These guys had so much drip the fire would put itself out. And that's why Japanese firemen from the late Edo period had the best drip in history, bar none. If you like this video, let me know in the comments and I'll know to do another one on Japanese firefighters. There's a lot more to talk about with their tattoos, the way they fought fires. I could just go on and on and on. It's a very interesting subject.